Hello and welcome back to episode 11 now of the Sheffield Wednesday Let's Play here on the FM Lowdown channel. In today's episode we have two games, Leicester City, we then have three games off camera, and then we have the Yorkshire Derby against Leeds United. You greet us currently on the squad screen, and I've said I was going to do this for a very long time and I've completely forgotten every single time. I'm going to show you how the team looks like sort of in and out of possession. So in the final third, it is extremely narrow. The Sykes provides the width on the right. The wing back provides the width on the left. The Big Dane comes into midfield, which creates sort of like a box with the two centre halves and Fasuri with the Big Dan. Barlessa has kind of the free row. If he wants to go forward, he can, which kind of creates like a 2-2-6, something like that. Which means we can get hit on the counter attack if we're poor in transition, which is why I like to have players who have got pace in the wide areas and two pacey centre halves. Because if we look at Wiriat, he is growing. He's got now 8 pace, which isn't a lot, but Huggins has 15, so he can kind of play out there. So that's not really a problem. And Sykes is obviously very quick as well, and Big Dan is also very quick. In terms of instructions, like if you then look at out of possession, we basically play a back 9 near enough with just one striker up front on his own. So in terms of all the instructions, they are on the screen if you are interested and want to take a screenshot. This is the in possession ones, and then the out of possession ones there are on the screen for you. In terms of the data hub, we're going to take a little look. General performance, Daniel Barlessa is performing well and above average in key statistics for his role, which is exactly why I wanted to sign him. In terms of tackles won, he's above. Progressive passes, he's above. Assists, he's above. Key passes, he's above. So yeah, he's really, really having a good season. Thankfully, we paid a lot of money for him. So thankfully, he is doing. We're performing to an average level in defending, which isn't overly surprising. You used to be able to hover over these players and you get the stats, but you can see Bernard's down here. Huggins is fewer passes with higher assists, which is always nice. In terms of aerial, we're going to be really poor in attack. We obviously have Big Gaston, very good, lots of headers, strong at headers, which is great. And then you've got our smaller players like Grant, Sterling, and Paul Smith who don't win their headers, which isn't surprising. We should probably take a quick look at the goalkeeper one. Stephen Bender faces poor shots and saves most shots, which is good for. It's always nice for a goalkeeper who's down here, faces quality shots and saves fewer shots. It's Lawrence Vigouroux, now 33 years old at Swansea City. In terms of the fixtures then, we're going to go through the fixtures since the last episode. I believe there's been 8 games since we last met, which was the Burnley game where we nearly threw it all away. And Sterling got a goal on his start as well. We drew 0-0 with Sheffield United. I'm full aware I've not shown a Sheffield derby yet, so we will in the next episode when we've got them at Hillsborough. We drew that game 0-0. We followed that with a 3-0 impressive victory over Portsmouth to continue our unbeaten start to the season. There were a lot of draws, but thankfully we managed to get to 3-0. Ingleson, Onyango and Mark Sykes goals either side of half-time, killing the game off, and then Franco Umar got sent off in injury time. We then went probably our stickiest spell of the season, winning 1 in 5. We drew 1-1 with Watford in a game which we deserved to win, but we've obviously had games this season where we've not deserved to win and we have won. I still think they balance each other out over the course of the season, but we fully deserved to win that game, but we unfortunately didn't. And I was kind of hoping we'd follow that up with a victory, and we didn't against Bristol City. We drew 2-2. Echeverry and Howe with the goals for Bristol City. Gaston Valles did give us the lead. They pegged us back. We took the lead again on the stroke of half time, and then they pegged us back again. We then had our first defeat of the season, ending I think it was an 18-game unbeaten run. We losing 4-1 to Hull City. Ollie McBurney scoring twice. They took a 3-0 lead after 40 minutes. Mark Sykes got one back before they killed the game off in injury time, which was extremely disappointing. So we had to bounce back, and we did with a 1-0 victory over Preston. Their goalkeeper scored a very unfortunate own goal, hit the bar, hit his back, and went into a very unfortunate own goal for Daniel Everson. We continued that winning way with a 2-1 away win against Swansea. Alan Brown getting his first goal for the club, and Svante Ingleson scoring again after we fell behind in the first half through a Melker Vidal goal for Swansea. And then we drew 1-1 against Middlesbrough. Alex Gilbert scored the goal for Middlesbrough, who led for a mass majority of the game before Mike Sykes stepped up in the 87th minute to level the game. So in today's episode, as I mentioned at the start, we've got Leicester City, and then we'll play these 3 off camera against Southampton, Swansea and Stockport, and then come back for the Leeds game. which kind of leaves the table looking like this. The reason we're doing Leicester is they're just behind us in the table in 4th. The reason we're doing Leeds, they're 5th in the table, and it's a Yorkshire derby as well. Birmingham still lead the way on 45. Millwall are 2nd on 42. We're 3rd on 42, having drawn 9 games, which is the joint most in the league, alongside Coventry City, Cardiff and Wrexham. Only lost the 1 though, which is lovely, but we could do with converting a couple of these draws into victories. Leicester are 4th on 41. Leeds are 5th on 38 and are in excellent form, so they're the team to watch at the moment. If you look like your XG table, we actually sit in 7th place against Leicester, who should be 2nd based on the stats. So this is going to be by no means an easy game to play. Raheem Sterling hasn't scored since that Burnley game. We have had a couple of injuries, which is actually more injuries than we actually had last year. Barry Bannan is now completely out of the fold in terms of playing. Carlon Grant tore his groin. He's out for 7 weeks as well. So injuries have hit us a little bit, which is never ideal, but it's part and parcel of football. So in terms of today's team, I'm going to start the big Uruguayan up front. Sterling. We haven't got another attacking midfielder. We are currently under a transfer embargo due to be taken over, we've been under a transfer embargo for about 2.5 weeks, which is why the attacking midfielder hasn't joined us yet. So we are just waiting for that to go through. So we'll go with this team. Bender in goal, Big Dan at right back, Bernard, Ratange White and Huggins as the back 4, Fasuri and Barlasser in midfield, Sykes, Ingleson, Sterling and Valles up top. This is a big game for us. Oh, well, there we go. I thought we weren't there. I've kind of called this a season-defining month. Obviously, we've got to play Leeds, we've got to play Stockport, who are completely out of form and have fell right down the table, which is the main reason we're not doing that today. And we've obviously got Leicester City, who statistically are the best team in this division. Jake Evans leads the line for them, Louis Page as well. So a couple of youngsters in their side. The pressure is all on them. At the end of the day, we were predicted to just try and survive at the start of the season once again. We've defied the odds to be in the top 6. The aim in my head is now to be there at the end of the season. We've got a nice 7-point gap, but we can't just capitulate in the second half of the season, which could happen with our squad not being absolutely massive. I've changed the camera to broadcast just to see if it's any good, to be honest. I'm just trialling out a few different cameras. At some point, I'll probably try the 2D Classic so I can see shape a bit better. As Leicester have the ball on the left-hand side. Mavididi finds Sumare back to Christensen. He now gives the ball to Sumare back to Page, driving forward. We're extremely deep, which is the problem with this system I have noticed when we regroup and we are tracking players everywhere. Faiz now finds Araujo to Sumare, into Page, into Evans, back to Page. This is good football by Leicester, and somehow Louis Page has smacked it in from the edge of the box. His first goal of the season. I thought our goalkeeper should have probably saved that from that far out as he picked the ball out the back of the net. It was at his near post. Am I being too critical that I think he should have saved that? As there is another highlight. We're going to get absolutely smacked, aren't we? I always seem to pick the most difficult games, but we are draw specialists, so if we can somehow scrape a draw, it would be absolutely lovely. But Evans now brings the ball forward for Leicester, for Tawu. That's a good ball round the back for Evans, and it's 2-0. His 3rd goal of the season. We're 2-0 down in 14 minutes. This isn't overly ideal, is it? We're going to lose our 2nd game of the season. We don't do 2-0 comebacks, as Big Dan has the throw-in. On the right-hand side, he throws it to Mark Sykes. The big Uruguayan should be just in the box. Barlasser finds Raheem Sterling, turns on his box. Raheem Sterling shoots, and Raheem Sterling scores his 2nd goal of the season. Only goals he scored is in live commentaries, and we have a lifeline. We've scored 6 minutes after they took a 2-0 lead. Good turn on the edge of the box by Raheem Sterling, and a good finish. They've got to get close. You can't let Sterling shoot on the edge of the box. But we have a lifeline. Thankfully. And we've actually been, if you look at the stats, we're the better team. I just wish, if we could, Ingleson will probably leave in January because we're going to try and take the money. If I can just get this midfielder, who I'm after, in, and we had a front 4 of either of the strikers, Sterling, the player I want, and Sykes, with Barlasser and Fasuri behind, I'd actually be really disappointed if we actually didn't get a top 6. The one position I really want to try and get as well, depending on money in January, is Leicester City have a corner of Mavididi and it's cleared by the big Uruguayan, is a proper centre-half, as Mavididi cuts inside and it's blocked. Obviously, we've got the youngsters in McDonald and our Thai youngster, but we're at the top. I didn't expect to be at the top end of the league, as Fatawu shoots and it's well wide off the post. If I can get an experienced centre-half, I will. Someone who's ready to go into the side and immediately improve. I know we've got Iorfa, but if we can get rid of Iorfa and get like a sort of a 24, 25-year-old who's ready for this level, I'll be absolutely delighted. As we've given the ball away really cheaply there, as Luke Thomas finds Page out wide to Mavididi. I think that is the weak spot, that left centre-half position, as the ball's round the back for Evans again, and he scored again. 2 goals in 18 games before this game, and he scored twice in 43 minutes. The other centre-half's now been done round the back, not tracking the runners, as we don't actually deserve to be 3-1 down, but we are because of quality in front of goal. Something we've not really played this season is this system. How many centre-halves do I have on the bench? 2. I'm going to make 2. I'm going to bring Onyango on and Iorfa. I'm going to bring both of them on. And you're probably looking at me, why am I changing to a back 5 when we're 3-1 down? I don't know. I just think we're getting done in these sort of positions here where easily, so I'm just hoping with an extra centre-half and someone on the cover, it might actually help us a little bit more. So we'll go with that for the second half. Hopefully, we can at least we don't get smacked 4s like we did against Hull, because this isn't a 4-1 game. I think we've deserved a point. As there's another highlight here, but we have the highlight. Hopefully, as Huggins finds Barlaser for Fury. Huggins gets past his man. Huggins into the box. Will he square it? No. He's just dribbled it into the goalkeeper's arms. Why don't they just smack it across the goal and try and get a deflection? Or something like that, as FaZe brings the ball out. And that's... What a pointless highlight that was. I got excited that we were actually going to score. 60 minutes now, as Page now finds Skip. Skip out wide to Fatawu. Araujo. Fatawu switches the play beautifully, and the fullback's too deep. Page. Mavididi. Evans. Don't let him get an hat-trick, as Page now drives forward, and Evans is through. He's got the pace. Good save by the goalkeeper. Bloody hell. That's all I have to say to it. So Fatawu is now going to take the corner, and we've cleared it. Advice. Apply all advice. Do it. Yes. As Huggins just launched the ball away, and that's not gone out for a throw-in. The other option I've got here is I play 2 up front. As for Suri, it makes a foul. I am a limbo here, actually, what to do. I mean, the big Dane can play midfield, can't he? So if we played in possession, we play Valles up front, move Sykes to right wing back, move him to there, move Sterling to there, play him there, change him to a centre forward, change the big man to a target forward, then bring on Cadamartri for Fissuri, go to just make sure that it all looks near enough the same. He goes there, he goes there. We're going to leave the 2 up top. Move them forward. Yeah, we'll go with that. Confirm changes. Right, let's see. Hopefully it's kept them. 2 up front. Hopefully we can get a goal back in the next 10 minutes, and we'll set up a nervy final 10 minutes. A bit like what we had against Burnley. As we approach 80 minutes, Leicester have the ball with Skip. Skip finds Koulibaly, who finds Fatawu. Good interception by Raheem Sterling. Now, Sterling loses it. He's won it back. Raheem Sterling does extremely well. Finds the big Uruguayan. Sterling out wide to Huggins. Now, we've got Sykes coming in at the back, and Huggins just goes for goal, and that is so wasteful. That we had men in the box there. Should have taken it to the byline and crossed it. That's a waste. That's a real waste. With 13 minutes to go, our goalkeeper has the ball. Launches it long. That's fine because we've got 2 strikers up there and he's not even challenged. We've picked up the second ball by Leicester. Valles finds Huggins. Back to Valles. Back to Huggins. Round the corner for Valles. Right, Cadamartri's in the middle. Valles cuts inside and finds Raheem Sterling, who's offside anyway. But it's better build-up. That's better build-up. But we do only have 10 minutes to try and score. We're going to have to just go for it, aren't we? We are just going to have to go for it. With 5 minutes to go, there is another highlight, and it's Leicester City on the ball. Ref, come on. Is he going to pick up the ball? Thank you. Come on, ref. Ref's just standing there. Skip now has the ball. Oh, he's just glided, and Huggins concedes the corner. That was another pointless highlight. They're playing with 10 men currently as well, with 6 minutes of injury time. And there is a highlight, and the ball goes into the hands of Stelarczyk once again, who can now, don't really know why he's dropped it there and just launched it, but he has. Iorfa wins the header. Barlasa into the big Icelandic. Finds Sykes. Right, we need to get a goal here with 3 minutes to go. Sykes. Oh, that's just crap again, isn't it? Why are they shooting in that position? Just carry on running and then square it. As we've lost 3-1. That is crap. Didn't deserve to lose that 3-1. That wasn't a 3-1 game. They just took their chances. No, that's what I mean. If we can just get I think we probably have to ditch probably the 16-year-olds that we're playing at centre-half constantly and get a proper defender. Because I think that's the thing that's going to cost us at the end of the season, if not. We've conceded 27 goals. Millwall have conceded more, but they've scored 14 more goals. We've got the worst defence in the top 7, other than Millwall. So, yeah, I think maybe we'll probably have to get a centre-half, to be honest. So, I'm going to go play the next 3 off camera, and I'll be back at the click of the fingers for the Leeds match. Right, before we get into the Leeds game, it's finally happened. We have a takeover. £52 million. Ryan Bell has successfully completed his takeover, replacing Nobed. He was delighted by the deal and would be looking to float the club on the stock exchange. Don't know what that means, but personal message. I want to thank you for your patience during the recent ownership and takeover discussions. In accordance with my plans for Sheffield Wednesday, the club have become a public limited company, raising £12 million for the club. Club vision. They're happy. Delighted. That's good news. They've lifted the transfer embargo. That's good news. The embargo had been imposed, so we can now go and try and sign the player I want. And the board would like to hold a meeting to discuss increasing the available transfer budget. Yes, please. I love that idea. Nice one. We've only got £375,000 in it. Transfer budget increased to £5 million. Respectable. Right, I'm going to go play the next league game, and then we'll come back for Leeds. Right, it's time for our game against Leeds then. So in the games that I've played off camera since our disappointing performance against Leicester City. Well, not performance, disappointing result, shall we say. We beat Southampton 1-0. Cadamartri scored in the 48th minute. Then we played Swansea and beat them 3-1. Raheem Sterling, Ingleson and Barlasa scoring to give us a 3-1 victory against Swansea City. And then we scraped past Stockport County 1-0. Ingleson with another goal, his second in successive games. Obviously, we've now had the beautiful takeover. And there was an email I was meant to show you. And if anyone knows what this means, please let me know in the comments. So I'm recording this on the 6th of November. And this goes out on whatever day the Tuesday is. So 7th is the Friday, 8th. Saturday, 9th, Sunday, 11th. So I'm 5-ish days ahead. So if anyone can actually let me know what this means, because I have no idea. Literally none. So that is there. And then another youth intake preview. Another 2 centre-halves that are promising. We're going to end up with a load of centre-halves that are going to be absolutely unbelievable. One of the wingers is a very handy prospect, and with a striker who can be considered a fine prospect, so we've got another excellent youth intake on the way. League table, before we get cracking, we're back in third place, 2 defeats, 9 draws and 14 wins. 51 points, 2 points behind Birmingham, 3 behind Millwall. Today's opponents are Leeds United, who have 3 wins in their last 5, are on 47 points, but can't overtake us. If they win, Leicester City can overtake us if they win their Boxing Day fixture. They may have already played it because it's 5:15. So, anyway, let's get cracking with today's team. Our big forward is injured. Joe Rawls has also had his contract extended because there was a clause in there that extended said contract when he played a number of games. Barry Bannan is also retiring at the end of the season due to not playing enough minutes this season, which is fair enough. Barford has now signed a professional contract and is heading immediately out on loan, which is good news for his development. So in terms of team selection for this game, it's a massive, massive football game for us, this one. Absolutely massive. If Huggins wants to go on the bench, that would be marvellous. We are going to pick Huggins anyway. This is a very difficult fixture, so I actually think that's probably our strongest team. So the team is Bender, Big Dan, Bernard, Iorfa, Huggins, Brown, Barlassa, Sykes, Ingleson, Sterling and Cadamartra, obviously. So we've got Ingleson probably leaving in January because his contract's up at the end of the season. I might make the decision to keep him, considering the position we're in the table, being honest. Bernard is another one. He wants to leave at the end of the season. The Jurgens in Sweden want him. Again, I'm at the point of promotion is worth £90 million. We just keep him and we just let them go for free at the end of the season. Obviously, we've got the takeover. So this will be the team to face Leeds. There's got to be an easier way to get to the opposition instructions. Because I click that button and it doesn't do anything. So let's go to the match. That is our team. Hopefully, we just don't lose. I can't be losing 2 of our 3 league games, both on live commentaries. Obviously, we scraped past Burnley as well in the last episode. So what's the Leeds teams? Johnson, Bogle, Bijou, Stoic, Lodi, Stack, Longstaff, Gruev, Harrison. It's not a very different team to what they had in the Premier League last season. So this is going to be a very tough fixture. And it's a keenly fought derby as well. So hopefully, I don't talk to the media. No. Big game, big football game, big atmosphere. It's a takeover has happened. I think this is our second home game since the takeover happened as well. I think when did that happen? That must have happened before the Stockport game, which is the last game. So this is actually our first home game since the takeover. As Leeds United get us underway at Hillsborough. Hopefully we can continue our good form and we should go back. I think we go into second place because all these games have actually played, so we're the late games. Mark Sykes drifts forward past the left back into Alan Brown. Big Dan finds Barlassa. There's so much room on the left-hand side of Cadamartra. He can find Huggins, and he can. Huggins. Barlassa back to Huggins. Cuts inside. Barlassa. Good for ball into Cadamartra. Raheem Sterling shoots, and Raheem Sterling, he loves the live commentary. He only seems to score in them, and Raheem Sterling. Excellent. That is the off-the-ball movement. It's brilliant. And we lead Leeds United 1-0. I do think we take the risk. But like I say, we're 5 days ahead of recording, so more than likely, to be honest, I'm going to be a bit of a way ahead of the comment section, but there will be times where obviously I record on the day and upload it, so I do my best to reply to all of the comments on YouTube, so please do keep commenting and let us know how your FM26 journey is going, and if you are doing a Sheffield Wednesday save, let me know how it's going. I saw somebody finished 3rd and then lost in the playoffs in their first season, which is mightily impressive. We nicked the ball here, and Raheem Sterling did again. Oh, he should have scored. Should have done better. Leicester won their game, so we will stay 3rd regardless. And Big Dan now on the right-hand side finds Sykes, who's been one of the best signings I've made in a very long time. And just as I say that, he gives the ball to Lodi. And now Leeds are coming forward with Okafor. There's an overload now. Okafor knocks it inside to Borja Mayoral. Why has Bernard just let Mayoral run? Not even tracked him, and he's fouled him. Brilliant. Why do the centre-half? They just kind of stand there and hold their line. It's like, track the runner. We're not playing an offside trap. Follow the man. And Borja Mayoral steps up for Leeds United from the penalty spot. and scores. It's now 1-1. Terrible. Just as I praised Sykes, he gives the ball away. 16th goal of the season for Marjarel. That's rather impressive. But we have around £2 million, I think it is, in January to spend. So I know the board said we got 5, but I don't have 5. I have about 2. So we'll see what we can do with that. Obviously, we had so much money from the summer as well. Barlas's free kick's taken quickly. Raheem Sterling shoots. Oh, my word. Raheem Sterling. That is unbelievable. He just loves a live commentary. 25 yards. That's the second worldie he scored after his worldie against Burnley. And we lead 2-1 against Leeds. He's worth the money, isn't he? Especially at this level. He's got experience. He's brilliant in front of goal. He's off the ball work. He's amazing. And we lead 2-1 at half time. A really good first half from us. Lapse of concentration at the back for the Leeds goal, which was from the penalty spot. But other than that, Leeds have created nothing. Like, a penalty is 0.79 expected goals. So it'd be interesting to see what Leeds have actually created, as we give one of the worst kickoff routines. So Leeds only created 0.15 expected goals so far. As we don't need the ball. We're so much better without the ball. We're very organised. We work hard as a team. As Barlasa, who's been one of my best, like him and Sykes have been outstanding. Barlasa launches it long. Leeds pick up the second ball though with Okafor. Struijk, he's got the out ball. Gruev, Renan Lodi, round the corner for Okafor. Okafor, he's beaten Big Dan. Okafor into the box. And he's missed. Right. Opposition instructions. Where are you? I always forget to do these. Apply all advice. Yes, that's fine. Right. There we go. I always forget to do it. As Barlas has picked up a knock, that's not overly ideal considering the fixture congestion we've got over the Christmas break. Sheffield United are 4-1 down to Bristol City. You'd love to see it. So we are the only game being played now. Stockport lost again. Southampton have won. Wolves have won. Burnley have drawn. Millwall lost. So hopefully we can hold on to the 3 points here, because the gaps at the top are going to be extremely close as Bogle's throw finds Majorel again, and they've got another penalty. And Iorfa's now giving it away. So both centre halves are giving away a penalty. Well, Majorel steps up from the penalty spot. Come on, keeper. And he scores. It's 2-0. They've scored 2 penalties. Naive. Why do they push them in the back? They're going nowhere. Just stand him up. 2 absolute bullcrap goals we've conceded. We are going to make a substitution. Sykes is... I've jinxed him, and Paul Smith will come on. Barlas is carrying a knock. Potential groin injuries. We're going to have to bring him off, and Ethan Brearley will come on to play that deep line playmaker role. Dan James, and we're going to throw another lead away, aren't we? Look at the space Dan James has. And somehow Majorel hasn't got his hat-trick, and we've cleared that off the line. It's clear to see where the weaknesses are in our side, which is a real shame. Would I take a point? I don't know. We haven't got another striker on the bench because he's injured. Lots of our players are booked. On Yango, I don't particularly want to bring him on. Right, Ingleson needs to come off. I'm going to have to bring on Spafford. Spafford, on you come, son. The youngster. Like that XG is kind of rubbish because Leeds have had 1.65. So you take that off, it's around what we've got. So a draw is probably a fair result. It's just disappointing we throw our lead away twice. Raheem Sterling scored 2 beautiful goals. It's probably our only standout player in that game, to be honest. Defensively, we were a bit of a mess, but we are still in 3rd place, a point off Birmingham, 2 off Millwall. We've still got a nice 4-point gap to Leeds and Leicester, and a 10-point buffer to Blackburn in 6th. The main question is, what's this Barlasa injury? Tight groin for 3 days. That's fine. So we can deal with that. So in the next episode, they're going to be coming thick and fast at the moment because we've got Sheffield United twice. We managed to get them in the FA Cup. But the next episode will be the league game against Sheffield United. So we're going to go and play Wolves, Birmingham, the Cup game, Burnley off camera. We'll come back for the Sheffield United game. And then we'll probably do Sheffield United and Charlton alongside deadline day, which will come after that. So if you have enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all for the next episode.